Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Katherine Kelly. I am a holistic health psychologist. I'm also a soul healing specialist. So, what the heck does that mean? Now, I obviously, as a holistic psychologist, I treat body, mind, and soul. And what that means is that I'm trained traditionally, but I'm also trained from a holistic and soul perspective. So, when I do work with people, it goes deeper than the mental health, it goes deeper than kind of what we experience in our bodies according to our emotional experiences. It goes down to the soul level, which is the deepest level of healing possible. Now, one of the things that I talk about is the tapestry of life and how that works in our overall experience of the human condition. Now, I want to do this video today because this month is all about that tapestry of life, our soul plan. How does this go? Our soul path. How is our life woven? And how is it that we learn and grow and evolve beyond the stuff that we want to evolve beyond? Now, I have a very tangible um, metaphor that I use with people, and I used it just last night with a physician client of mine. And I could just see her eyes widening as I was describing this to her because when we put ourselves into a metaphor, it's like experiencing the metaphor as we're hearing it. And we can put ourselves into those visualizations to be able to go, oh, wow, that's how that works. And so that's why I use so many metaphors. And this month, I'm really talking about the tapestry of life and our souls, kind of our soul's plan and our soul's, really our soul's evolution according to the life lessons that we experience. So I'm going to focus this video very much on life lessons and what that means. I'm going to bring up this conversation I had with this client last night. She was talking to me about how she has these things that as long as she can remember, way back into childhood, excuse me, that she has experienced some insecurities, some lack of confidence, some she just doesn't understand why it's there because she's obviously a very intelligent woman, a very seasoned person, a very um, obviously very accomplished person. She's well into her career. And so it's one of those things where when we have something that snags us, we want to understand it. And sometimes looking at it from the human condition alone is not enough. Sometimes we have to go deeper in order to really explore where the heck this came from. So I'm going to give you an example here. I've got two different tapestries I'm going to show you. This is a Native American tapestry. It's just a little kind of table cover that I bought years ago. I've probably had this for 20 some years. I bought this in Colorado. And then I have this one, which is Peruvian. And Peruvians are also very, very much known for their textiles, very intricately woven. This is just actually a very simple one. Again, not that big, but I like to have them as kind of table coverings. I want to help you understand life lessons. That is what this video is really about, is understanding why it is that each and every soul on this planet has a set of life lessons that we were supposed to experience and evolve beyond as part of our evolution. Now, there are 8.6 billion souls on this planet. So everyone's tapestry is going to look different according to the lessons they're supposed to learn, as well as according to other factors that affect you. So when I was describing this to this person last night, I was helping her understand that each panel of the tapestry is this lifetime versus previous lifetime. So this panel would just metaphorically represent this lifetime. So I'm going to use this as an example that where this begins, where this tapestry begins, this is already woven with lots of life lessons that we are supposed to experience in this lifetime in order for us to evolve. Now, these are laced like that because of all of previous lifetimes' experiences. So we have things that are left over from previous lifetimes that we have to finish out or we have to grow beyond because we weren't able, for one reason or another, to do it in a previous lifetime. This can be woven very intricately according to how many lifetimes we've experienced that same kind of theme, where we were, what tragedies we've experienced, what traumas we've experienced. It could be personality traits. It could be or our lives were cut short because of some sort of devastation or war. So there's lots of reasons why we may not have finished out life lessons from previous lifetimes. And our souls basically choose to keep evolving so that when we come into a new lifetime, that weaving that is already in that edge that starts us out is already there. It's already part of who we're supposed to be and what we're supposed to start paying attention to that we're tripping over or being snagged by. I call them snags. When we can identify those snags, that is when that conscious evolution starts. That is when we start to realize, whoa, that is a repeating pattern. That is something I need to figure out. So these lines, metaphorically speaking, these lines could basically represent stages of our life, kinds of different things that we're experiencing, but they are all woven with the same fabrics going this way as well that might go smoothly, but they might get in the way. Now, when I picked up this a tapestry to show you today, I looked and I realized, okay, so there's a pretty significant snag right there. So this could metaphorically represent a trauma in that person's lifetime at that stage. And basically, if this, we've all kind of snagged clothing and we get stringers and we have all these kind of um, strong sections where they're ripped or they're stretched. And the whole idea is that depending on if a tragic event or something very difficult happens, if that person has learned what they're supposed to learn, it will not snag throughout the rest of the tapestry. It means that this quote person has healed whatever they needed to heal so it wouldn't continue destroying or dismantling or disrupting the pattern. So in this case, metaphorically, if you look at this, if you look at about, okay, this could be several years of this person's life that this whatever event had affected, but the person was able to, metaphorically, heal whatever they needed to do or resolve whatever they were supposed to resolve so it did not continue to affect their pattern. So that is one way to look at this. So if you, and I'm sure all of you have snags or rips in clothing, we keep stuff for a long time. I've got t-shirts that aren't really snagged, but they're old and they're getting worn, and yet I love those things. Until you grow beyond something that's very comfortable, you don't get rid of it. And so whenever you see these patterns that have these snags in them, metaphorically, you have to look at it as, oh, there was a major life lesson there. Did I overcome it? Now, here's the thing, and I'm going to use this metaphorically too. We can go through phases of life that we think we have overcome patterns. We think we have overcome habits or patterns or something that wasn't serving us earlier in life. So metaphorically, here's this set of chapters of a person's life that this person got through. Then you have this period where, okay, you're not really hitting those same kinds of lessons, but there could be a time later in life where they pop up all over again. So you have that same kind of pattern pop up so that, oh my gosh, I thought I was over this. I thought that I had gotten this taken care of. I thought I had outgrown this. So, but we go through those kinds of patterns in life so that we can keep upping the ante. We can keep learning more and more about how to manage things, how to get through things, how to overcome things. That is conscious evolution. I have this story that just popped into my mind that I remember. This didn't happen all that long ago. This was probably 8 or 9 years ago. I have journaled as long as I can remember. My family never even knew that because they weren't journalers, they weren't diary writers, they weren't any of that. But I would basically process out my emotions, process out what was going on. And it saved me many times because really it's just processing that kind of stuff out, making, again, to me, this is one of the first levels of healing. You have to make sense of something in order to understand it and move beyond it. So I've journaled for years and years and years. About probably 7 or 8 years ago, I picked up an old journal that I was getting ready to burn. I usually burn my journals at the end of the year. Flip through them, decide, okay, what am I still working on? I rip out those pages and I burn the rest just as a closure activity for myself. It's actually very liberating if you haven't done that. But there was this one thing that I was reading through going, man, am I still working on this? And it's like, of course I'm still working on this because we all have a tapestry of life. But it was years prior that I had really processed that. But when I picked that up and reread that, I was thinking, wow, okay, so there's more work to do on that particular kind of snag. So when I was describing this to this person last night, and her eyes were growing, it was helping her see, okay, there are so many factors that go into whether or not we can overcome our snags, our discomforts, our life lessons. So it could be a person that keeps getting into the same kinds of relationships over and over and over again. Then you have to step back, look at the snags in your tapestry, and look at the patterns, look at the similarities, look at the behaviors, look at how you are participating in creating or maintaining those snags. That's when we start to put it together to go, okay, I need to start doing something differently. That is the power of conscious evolution, is when you can consciously say, wow, I'm seeing the snags. I now know what they are about. Let's remove them. That's the only way you can remove something that is snagging you over and over again, is when you consciously understand what it is and can realize that it's time to move beyond it. So that's when you start reweaving your fabric in a way that it helps lessen the lessons. Basically, it helps you eliminate the lessons because you've grown beyond them. And it's such a beautiful thing. This is one of the things that I love about working with people. And I honestly believe this about myself. There is nothing better than watching souls evolve for me. And so when someone comes across this aha moment of, oh my gosh, that's why that happens, that is where this snag began. If they can identify it in this lifetime, that's fantastic. If we need to go to previous lifetimes, then we'll do that. But it's that evolutionary process that helps you redesign your life, redesign your tapestry of life so that it's more beautiful according to you. And that's really important because again, it's your soul's tapestry that you're in charge of. You don't have any control over anybody else's life path. But this is your destiny. This is basically your life lesson, your set of life lessons that you're supposed to be growing beyond. So, when I look at these different tapestries and I think about these, okay, this person's quote tapestry obviously is woven differently, has different life lessons, has different stages of life that they've had to go through. You can really look at any tapestry and just imagine, oh gosh, wow, okay, there's a snag there. That must have happened. There must have been a life snag. There must have been a life lesson. I metaphorically look at people because of the fact that you have to see beyond what is right there. And that's really what the term metaphysical means, that there's more behind the scenes, there's more than meets the eye. So metaphysical, meta is bigger. That's the word, basically, that meta means bigger. And that whole metaphorical dive that we can do into our soul's healing takes us so far in being able to get beyond what it is that our human condition is presenting in front of us so that we can grow. And I often say this, and I don't like tragedies and I don't like life challenges or life lessons any more than anybody else. But when you can lean into them and realize, oh, this discomfort I am feeling, this snag that I'm coming across on my tapestry is here to help me grow and evolve, then you change your perspective and you don't avoid the snag. You actually lean into it to reweave the fabric of your life so that you can, again, create a better life moving forward. I always say this to help people understand this, is that because we are in charge of our destiny, we are in charge of our tapestry of life. If we don't heal these things in this lifetime, we can guarantee that we're coming back in the next lifetime, starting off where we left off. So wouldn't you rather heal it now, not bring it into a next lifetime with you, and not have to go through the same things that you go through in this lifetime? So this is how this is all woven together. And yes, it's very complex. And yes, it's very layered. But at the same time, once you widen the view and can really understand your tapestry of life according to how your soul experiences the human condition, then you can become your own weaver. Then you can become the person that takes charge of your lifetime rather than feeling like something is always being done to you. So I hope this helps you understand life lessons. We all have them. We may see someone that looks like they have an easy life, and they do not have an easy life. I can guarantee you. People tell me that they think that I have a really easy life. I have not felt like I've had an easy life. Let me just promise you that. I've had lots of things happen in my lifetime that are major snags, have been major snags. But the fact that I have learned how to embrace them and lean into them and realize this is part of my soul's evolution, this is part of my human condition that is forcing me to take a look at what my soul is here to do, soul is here to evolve beyond. Because I lean into that, it does become easier because I'm not fighting against it. And that is a huge lesson for all of us is to not fight against the human condition, but to learn to weave your fabric in a way that basically you can embrace those life lessons, those life challenges, those very difficult times of life, and understand that something good from a learning perspective is going to come from each and every one of those lessons. So again, life lessons is just one aspect of the soul, but I wanted to really help you illuminate the idea of why we experience these life lessons and how to start stringing them together to go, wow, okay, I learned that, and that helped me learn this, and that helped me learn that. And that's exactly what happens for the clients that I work with when I talk to them about these tapestries, is that they can widen their lens and realize that is what the soul's place has been in my whole human condition. And this is how it is all woven together. And it also empowers them. So I hope this is helpful for you. If you have questions, please, type them into the YouTube channel, type them in wherever you can contact me. I just want to help you understand this. And that is why I do what I do. This is bringing sage wisdom to the modern soul. We have to understand how the soul works from an ancient perspective and weave that into modern life in order for people to use it today. And so that's what I'm all about. And I like to do it in lots of different ways. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will be back soon. Take care.